Welcome to the All That Glitters is Gold podcast. I'm your host, Vegas-born native, Kailen Hurley. Let's start the show. What's going on, guys? It is Kailen. This is our pilot episode, so bear with us. Before I bring on co-hosts that you'll see and hear, I want to make sure that my skills in the technology department are at least acceptable for you. So, a couple of things, before we get too into the weeds of Vegas Golden Knights hockey, I am a huge sports fan. Probably to my wife's displeasure as big of a sports fan. She is a trooper for putting up with my craziness, my superstitions, the way I sit on the couch during close games, the fact that during playoffs I may or may not wash the shirt. Any shirt. If we've won a game, I'm wearing it, and I'm wearing it till we lose, which a lot of different shirts this last playoffs. I'm a lifelong Minnesota Vikings football fan, which has been a pretty miserable existence. So I understand the heartbreak of sports. Never really got too into baseball. And before the Vegas Golden Knights existed and their inception, I was a Vancouver Canucks fan. Didn't get into the NHL too involved before the Stanley Cup run of 2011, which I guess you can call me a bandwagoner if you'd like. But after that, I've seen a decent amount of failure in the NHL department. And before any of that hockey related, I was introduced, probably 7 years old to the Las Vegas Thunder. Back in the day, I won some tickets at a spin the wheel, win a prize game at the fantastic swap meet on the east side of town in Las Vegas. And people who are from here understand or at least know what I'm talking about. The fantastic swap meet is pretty sweet, especially as a kid. I always gravitated towards the sports memorabilia. Nowadays, looking at those places, wonder the validity and the authenticity of some of those signatures, but it was fun as a kid, and that's what introduced me to hockey. I went with my dad and had a blast, and as I grew up, the team changed to the Las Vegas Outlaws. That was a fun time in my life as a late teens, early 20s. They had a pretty sweet dollar beer night that a couple of friends and I would go to pretty regularly. Always wanted and yearned for a team to root for that was my own. I was very jealous of people who were born and raised in Minneapolis and Minnesota. They had the Vikings, me being a massive Vikings fan, or you grow up in LA and you have the Kings and the Lakers, and you had your choice. You could even be a Clippers fan, or close, you could be an Anaheim Ducks fan, or it's just something about having a team where you're from was so romantic to me. And I think that's the word I like to use about my sports fandomhood. Some people would use fanatical. Some people would use psychotic. I think it's romantic. I think that sports to me are the ultimate form of drama, and nothing like an epic comeback or a hard season. It was my first heartbreak sports. It was my first overjoyous occasion. And I've had bigger heartbreaks and I've had bigger joys in my life outside of sports. But man, something about watching a group of people band together for one ultimate goal is the purest form of competition. It makes you feel alive. And even if you're not a part of the team, if you're just a fan like I am, you get to be included into a community that you never quite had it. And not having a team in Las Vegas for so long, I always felt like somewhat of an outsider. I could be the biggest fan of a team I rooted for, but no matter what, I didn't have the homegrown connection. And when the Vegas Golden Knights came, I finally had that beautiful connection to a team in my city. And I'm maybe one of the few people that I love being from Las Vegas. I'm very proud of this place that I came from. A lot of people judge Las Vegas on this 3-mile strip of land. And what they don't understand is that this is an incredible place to grow up. This isn't just the city of sin. There is those elements, obviously, but we didn't grow up in hotels. Our parents aren't all cocktail waitresses and car dealers and hotel concierge. We are such an eclectic, beautiful group of people that come for all different reasons to this place. I mean, I'm so glad now I get to share some of my biggest passions, that is sports, with other people, and I'm able to connect to a team on this, like, to me, almost cellular level. Um, but yeah, I want to create a podcast for you guys, and the goal of this podcast is to come from a point of view from somebody who I wasn't born into an original 6 NHL team. I My parents didn't watch the NHL. I'm purely a fan who likes to be probably stupidly optimistic about their team year after year. I don't want to gatekeep the game. There's so many things about this beautiful game that is hockey that I don't know still, and I'm not a salary cap expert, and I won't be able to break down the NHL rule book and the CBA and all of these nuances that some of the NHL hockey media and writers like to hold so close and keep away and almost mock some of the fans. Um, Vegas is new to this beautiful sport as far as having an NHL team. And there's a lot of people who are like me who wanted a team, who have one now, and they weren't entrenched in sports prior to. And so they want to learn the game and you know, as simple and beautiful as this sport is, it's also very confusing and no one wants to be felt to be embarrassed while listening and asking questions. And some of my favorite things to do is introduce people to hockey through the Vegas Knights. And I encourage anybody who ever wants to ask a question or ever wants to watch a game, or if you don't have someone you feel comfortable talking to with those things, ask me through the comments section of our YouTube, through our Twitter that we have, through all of our social media outlets that I will continually plug. Um, but the whole goal is to grow the game, and the whole goal is to, you know, to me, spread the same amount of love I have for sports to other people. Um, Without getting too deep into things, it's this universal thing that every aspect and walk of life can band around. Um, and if I can help 1 or 10 or maybe one day 100 people, make them feel like they're part of something outside of just their immediate world, and they can be a part of a community that maybe otherwise they didn't feel comfortable being invited to, that would be amazing. I think that's the whole goal of this. And I want every voice to be heard. I want this podcast to be led by you guys. You guys, I want to speak through your passion and your questions, and I want to have your say and input in every episode that we do. Um like I said in the beginning, this is all a test for now. I have a microphone clipped to the bill of my hat. plugged into the base of my phone, and I'm just kind of, for lack of a better phrase, I'm raw dogging this whole experience, man. I'm just trying to learn myself and get to the space so I can be a voice for you guys. Um, there's other media outlets that are going to be much more informed, much more in tune with the team as far as being able to interview players and members of the staff. There's going to be podcasts and media members and outlets that have been doing this a lot longer than me. I'm never going to try to come at this negatively. I'm never going to try to come at this as a job. This is a passion project for me. I want to create a positive space for this team. I think there's a lot of negativity, and I don't know. There's a lot of super fans that take things too far in other franchises, and there's some in our franchise as well. And I want to make sure that you guys feel like there's a fan of the team that has your back, that is on your side, that we're never, as a all that glitters is gold community, never negging the team for no reason. There will be times where topics will be hard, and there will be times where we have to have those hard conversations about players and contracts and all of that. But I want it to come from a place that we love this team, not that I'm picking on a player, not that I'm picking on a decision from the front office or the organization. And I'm not going to be a homer about this team either. You know, it's going to be a fine line to walk, but for me, I want big golden retriever energy coming from myself. Maverick energy, if you will. I'm going to have 2 co-hosts. Sometimes it'll be all 3 of us. Sometimes it'll be just the 2 of us. Sometimes it'll be me chatting at you solo like today. Today is about introducing the podcast in a pilot form. Today is about learning some technology and some back-end things. The audio will get better. The visuals will be better. In the middle of building out a studio right now. So gracious that one of my friends has a spare room that is going to let us record out of that. So I want you guys to be able to see and hear and feel the passion and the love that we have for this team. And there's no other way to start other than to start. So this is me jumping in 2 feet at a time into the deep end to swim with all the sharks. And hopefully I grow into a big, friendly shark myself. Albeit not a San Jose shark, but I appreciate you guys for the 6 people who either know me personally or are related to me that are going to listen to this one. I appreciate the listen. I appreciate the patience, and I can't wait to grow with this community, to see what we can do and build. And I will promise you, I will get better. I will learn, and this will be something that we are all proud of. So with that being said, thank you for your ears. Thank you for your time, and I will see you again soon. This has been the first and pilot podcast of the All That Glitters is Gold. My name is Kailen. I love you all. Thanks very much.